Good afternoon and welcome to the Sportsplex Beer Farm, just outside of Montreal, Quebec, where today we continue with coverage of the Clash, the Continental Clash, here on the World Sports Broadcasting Network. I am Mark Michael, this afternoon here on Ring 3. Everest taking on the Connecticut Junior Rangers. Why is it so interesting? Well, both teams are 3-1, and they are right now outside looking at the top four of this tournament. From Racine, First Class Alberta, Manitoba, and Montreal Academy, all ahead of them at the one pace after winning today. Everest white, Connecticut blue. Here we go. Opening face-off, and it's won by Connecticut. We'll give you all the details as we get into the game. The last session of the morning, or the first games of the day. In day 3, Connecticut's up against the shot. Score! Right off the bat! Connecticut, 15 seconds into the contest, they score to make it 1-0. On a huge goal for Connecticut right off the face-off. They come into the Everest zone and they pocket their first goal. It's 1-0 Connecticut. They want to make a statement known early in this game that they're not going to relinquish one of the top 4 spots so easily. Let's try to fight for that top 4 spot. Now let's see how Everest responds. Connecticut back into the zone. Shot comes in on the goalie and goes to the far corner. We'll go ahead and give you all the details as far as the starting goalies and the goal scorer in just a minute as we get our information that comes live on Game Street. So here is number 21. That's Brody Miller with the puck. 15 seconds in, and Connecticut scores to make it 1-0. So now the Junior Rangers go ahead and send it around. Everest in the far corner now. It's been a great day of action so far here, day 3 of Clash. We'll update you with some scores later on. Right now, the top 4 spots are locked in by other teams, even though Connecticut and Everest 3-1. Whoever wins, if you're 4-1, they'll stay right with the pack. And then the loser of this game will fall to 3-2. And they'll have some work cut out for them in the final day and a half of preliminaries. Look in the near zone. Everest trying to clear, and it comes back out to neutral ice. To go in the opening period. Connecticut already with a 1-0 lead on Everest lead. Now they pick it up. Miller again. Miller with the shot goes wide, picked up by Everest on the far boards. Held in by the Rangers. Everest gets it back. And comes in all the way around the ice behind the net. Justin Yaffermal after it. Now on the far boards, right in front of the Everest bench, inside the Everest zone. Everest and Connecticut both 3-1 in this tournament. The problem is that there are 4 teams right now ahead of them, even though they've played an extra game. This is the 5th game that Everest and Connecticut are playing. So winner will be able to keep pace with those top 4. Pass cross from number 5. Number 6, Devin Price. Goes in the corner.
Get down!
Down in the near corner in the Connecticut zone. Scrum for the puck. Pass the defenseman all the way down the ice back into the Everest zone. Connecticut net. Along the boards, 2 Everest players in there along with a Ranger. Now a second. Connecticut will take it. Try and skate it back outside the zone, and they do. Held by Everest to the blue line. Now at the Connecticut zone, number 13, Kate Maxwell. Comes all the way back around. Handled now by Price. Sent in by Maxwell. Into the far corner. Rangers pick it up there. 1-0 Connecticut scores on a goal 15 seconds into the contest. Now it's in the near corner, Connecticut. Get the puck. Sent back into the Connecticut zone. Rangers will take it behind their own net. And regroup with forechecking by Everest. Back outside the zone. Now Connecticut coming on the near face-off circle shot. And goaltender gets a piece of it for Everest. Now picked up behind the net. Everest with it. Right in front of the benches. Sent back into the Everest zone. Picked up by Connecticut there. On the near circle. Connecticut in the corner. Got number 6, Devin Price. Pressuring. It's a Yanyan on there for Connecticut now along the far boards. 9:10 to go, first period. Connecticut scored 15 seconds into this contest. They hold a 1-0 lead. If you're looking for the other game going on right now, that is on rink number 1. Marcus is covering that game. It's Quebec Hockey Club against the Boston Hockey Club. Boston still in the mix in the standings, so they're going to have to win pretty much every game going forward to really play themselves back into competition for the top 4. Now, one of the great things this tournament does is they have what's called the grind. Shot comes in, glove saved by the Connecticut netminder. Hold on. What the grind is basically everybody who is outside the top 4, they get to play for an alternate championship, consolation championship. But it's 30-minute games on, I believe it's Friday afternoon? No, Saturday afternoon, after the top 4 is set. So they'll go ahead and they'll match up all throughout Saturday afternoon, like 2 to 6:30. We'll have the grind set at 5:30 p.m. Saturday as the Everest goalie makes a save. So it's a great consolation event, but I mean, in this tournament, you obviously want to be in the top 4 if you can, and that's what teams like Everest and Connecticut are working for right now. Top in the standings is 5-0. Minnesota Machine, they've been dominant. They won in overtime today against first class Alberta. They sit in second place, first class Alberta. Get the Manitoba All-Stars will play later this afternoon. Connecticut right on the doorstep, and the puck's frozen. And we'll have a face-off deep inside the Everest zone with 8:05 to go in the first period. So Manitoba, Montreal, 4-1 records. And then you have Everest and Connecticut with 3-1 records sitting right outside. Atlantic Apex, 3-2. Elite Warriors, 2-2. And then Tordon Hockey and the Boston Hockey Club still both in the mix with 500 records, although they're going to have to win outright pretty much to get back into the top 4 spots. That's why this is such an important game. Connecticut and Everest, they're both 3-1. You drop the 3-2, you'll go back into the mix below. But if you win, then you move up to 4-1. spot. Everest has the puck now, being chased by the Connecticut forechecker. Inside the zone, that's number 12, George Shang. Behind the net. Now here the Rangers, Brody Miller coming in. Miller toward the net and saved by the Everest netminder. It was Kingsley McIntyre, seeing number 1 there. I just came confirming it was the score sheets not updating with the speed that they had been over the past few days. Possible technical difficulty on that end. So once I get an update on the actual scores, I'll let you know. Boston Hockey Club, Quebec Hockey Club, playing in rink number 1 right now. Everest and Connecticut here in rink number 3. Sportsplex Pierrefonds, just outside of Montreal, Quebec. Game number 3 of the class. We'll be going all the way until Father's Day, Sunday, where the bronze medal and gold medal games will happen. 6 full days of hockey here in Quebec and on the World Sports Broadcasting Network. Now brought back into the Connecticut zone. Everest looking for the big-time goal. But now carried back out by Connecticut. Number 13, Justin Yaffabau. Goes wide. Everest picks it up across the blue line. Now across the red. Flips it into the Connecticut zone. And over the glass and on a play. 6:16 to go in period number 1. Connecticut with a 1-0 lead over Everest Elite. Mike Formasano only on the World Sports Broadcasting Network. Cameraman Lucas out there, and he's doing a great job. And we're happy to be able to bring this to you. So now Everest with it. That's number 87, Jordy Price. 6:05 remaining, first period. Puck sent all the way down into the Connecticut zone. We have an icing on the play. Aside from that goal right out of the gate, not a lot of activity, a lot of back and forth. No penalties until this point. No other goals other than the first one in the first 15 seconds. See both teams kind of feeling each other out. Back to the point. Connecticut slamming it back in. Behind the net now on the right post. Scrub for it in front. Comes back. High slot. Shot. And great save by the Everest netminder. Keeping this a 1-0 game. Good save by Everest. So now face off to the left of the Everest goal. Nice in front of the high slot, intercepted. Everest now with it over the red line, now over the blue, coming into the Connecticut zone. One-timer, and it was blocked by the defense. Here is number 85, Luka Novak, intercepted. Everest coming back the other way along the far boards. Trailer with it right in front of the net. Marks there. Now the puck comes back to the far boards. Pinched in by Everest. Tried to slide it in inside the right post. Nothing doing. Now back to the point. Number 3, Destin Ha has it. To Leo Aroni. Far corner now, back to the point. Everest on the far board. Sends it in front, blocked by the Connecticut defense. The Rangers doing a good job protecting their goalkeeper. Number 15, Leo Aroni with it. Goes into the Connecticut corner on the near side. Back to the far point. to the corner. Setup right now looking like it's an Everest power play, but it's not. It's 5-on-5. Dominating the offensive zone possession right now. And Connecticut finally cleared the zone. Here's the pass to number 9, Henry Saras. Saras coming in, the shot. Oh, what a save by Connecticut. And goaltender for the Junior Rangers standing tall. Get a zoom in and see who the goalie is there. I apologize, my score sheets here online still not updating on game sheet stats. So once they do, once they send an update over to me, I'll have the name of the goal scorer and the goalie as well. Everest on the far end, got a wing in front on the far post. Then he stepped right in front of that again and knocked it down. Clearing the neutral ice. Here's Everest. 94 Brody McCallum after it. In the near corner. Connecticut defense in there. Everest now. On the far boards to get back to the point.
Oh, come on!
And cleared by Connecticut all the way down the ice. I got a confirmation it is Kingston McIntyre in net for Everest. I saw the big number 1 in the back of his jersey there. So 3 minutes to go, and McIntyre lets that cross the goal line. Not in the net, obviously, but for an icing. Goal line extending from boards to boards. Face off to the right of the Connecticut goalie. Saw Rory Mickelson play yesterday. He's fantastic in that. Just not sure if it's Mickelson or Logan Julian in there. Outside the zone, Connecticut has it now 2-on-2. Everest picks it up with a steal. Now sent right back in by the Rangers behind McIntyre's net. Here's Everest with it. That is number 9, Henry Saras. Saras coming in. Shot goes wide of the Ranger cage. Along the far boards. Now down low behind. It's in the corner. Everest trying to send it back to the point to Nico Giannetti. Gets past him and goes back into the Everest zone. Giannetti racing back with a forechecker on him from the Rangers. And doesn't get there in time because it's an icing as it crosses the blue line, on the goal line, I should say. Minute 42 to go in the first period. 1-0 Connecticut Junior Rangers lead over Everest Elite on a goal scored in literally the first 15 seconds of the game. Now player falls down for Connecticut. Everest sent it to the far corner. Shot for the point. Here's Everest to the blue line. Well, George Chang gets knocked over. We have a penalty call against Connecticut. So the penalty against the Connecticut Junior Rangers, and Everest will go to a power play with a minute 17 remaining in period number 1. Rangers lead 1-0 over Everest Elite. I'm Formasano here on the World Sports Broadcasting Network. This is day number 3 of the Clash, Continental Clash between the 4 nations of Canada, the United States, Sweden, and Finland. As the cross shot in by number 6, Devin Price. Goes into the corner. Comes back out. Check that it's actually number 5 for Everest, and our rosters do not show a number 5 listed. So. Shot comes in, blocked down in front, and covered by the netminder for Connecticut. Now the faceoff goes back to the point. Everest has it there. Right high slot shot. To the far end. Oh! Everest scores to make it 1-1. Great goal there. Everest able to put that in and tie the game at 1. A power play goal for Everest to lead. And we are deadlocked 1 apiece. Nice goal passed down to the floor right on the near post. Able to beat the Ranger goalie. And we are tied at 1-1. Goal comes with 17 seconds remaining in period number 1. So I'll tell you what, that bookends the first period perfectly. Connecticut scoring the first 15 seconds, and Everest scoring the game-tying goal in the last 15 seconds or 17 seconds of the first period. Connecticut has it back now, outside the zone. Everest picks it up at the blue line, and there's the buzzer for the end of period number 1. We are deadlocked 1 apiece between Everest and the Connecticut Junior Rangers. We'll be back for second period action right here on the World Sports Broadcasting Network. Welcome back to the Sportsplex Pierre Fond outside of Montreal, Quebec for second period action between Everest Elite and the Connecticut Junior Rangers. And the Rangers come right back in, storming in on the net, and the backhander goes past McIntyre along the far boards.
Behind you!
Oh, the Connecticut Junior Rangers scoring in the first 15 seconds of the first period. Everest tying the game with 17 seconds to go in the first. Puck intercepted by Connecticut, playing right back in. Pass number 7 going to be a Gala. Now here's Everest. It's number 8, Liam Osborne. Pass cross. Goes into the near corner. Puck right in the slot. Covered by the netminder for Connecticut. Good save by the Ranger goalie. Now the faceoff goes behind the Connecticut net. Both teams 3-1 in the clash over the first 2 days. This is their first game each this morning and afternoon. It's now afternoon. They'll both play later, I think. Big interception there. We got a delayed call, however. Delayed offside, so Connecticut able to pick it up. Now into the Everest zone. Along the far boards. Everest able to play it out. Intercepted by Connecticut. There's Colton Tarantino, number 73. Played right back outside the zone, and the Rangers picking it up with his lights. Everest to the puck. Chase in the near corner in the Rangers zone. Now right on the left post, Everest trying to slide it home. And play it out. Back to the boards. Everest with a shot blocked down by the Ranger defense. Now Everest coming back in. Now along the far boards. Back behind the net. Rangers have it there with 12:25 to go in period number 2. Everest holds it. We get a whistle, stoppage in play with 12:22 to go in period number 2. Tied at 1 between the Connecticut Junior Rangers and the Everest Elite. Well, the puck's going to come all the way back down to the Everest zone, so I believe we have a penalty against Everest, so that'll put Connecticut on the power play. Puck comes across the defense. Rangers with the shot goes wide and down the high slot. Back to the defenseman for the Rangers. On the far boards, Everest steals it away. In the far corner, looking to clear. Down the far corner. In a high slot shot goes wide of McIntyre. It's sent all the way down the ice, and the Rangers will play it. And finally got a view of the back of the Ranger goalie. It looked like number 30 on there. So that is Rory Mickelson. So that is who we're going to go with. Rory Mickelson now in depth. Shot by Connecticut right in front, knocked down by McIntyre. And it comes all the way outside the zone. Rangers back for it as it crosses the goal line. No icing as they're on the power play, obviously. Here is number 87, Jordy Price. Stolen away. Now Everest back with it, and Price clears his own and sent back down into the Ranger end. The forwards losing an edge. Now Everest in front trying to get a shot off. 3 seconds to go on the minor penalty. And now we're back to 5-a-side hockey. Here's Connecticut. Number 3, Desmond Ha, checked down by the Ranger forwards. Along the near boards now, Connecticut has it. In the far corner. Less than 10 minutes to go in period number 2. We're deadlocked at what? Right in the low slot now, and Connecticut has an opportunity there. The puck back, and back to the point. 13, just the half amount. Pass across, the shot. save by McIntyre. Good save by the Everest elite goalie. And we stay one apiece here. Network. We're at the Sportsplex Pierre Fawn in Montreal, Quebec, in rank number 3. If you are interested, the other game is the Boston Hockey Club and the Quebec Hockey Club. That is being played right now on rank number 1. In the near corner. Connecticut picks it up, clears the zone, good breakout pass across the red line. Rangers coming in, tight defense by Everest and forced them to the far corner. Rangers send the puck right back in now along the near boards. Outside the zone. Number 11, Alexander Schwartz with it. Locked down, 8:45 remaining in the second. Game is crucial for both teams. Everest and Connecticut both 3-1. Everest goal here. Score! Oh, beautiful shot just underneath the glove and above the pad of Rory Mickelson. And Everest has taken a 2-1 lead. Time to go, 8:34 remaining in the second period. Everest scores to make it 2-1. You got the Ranger defenseman coming over and tapping the pads of McIntyre or Mickelson, trying to give him some encouragement. Shake it off. Go from there. Mickelson and McIntyre both have played good games so far. It's only 2-1. So still plenty of time. I mean, Connecticut scored in the first 15 seconds, so a goal coming at a time. Well, hasn't come for the Rangers since the 15-second mark. Meanwhile, Everest has scored a pair. Everest out of the Toronto, Ontario area. Connecticut from southern New England in the United States. Great representation in this tournament of 4 nations. One team from Sweden, Tordon Hockey. You got Team Finland from obviously Finland. 6 from the United States, 8 from Canada. Coming up on the World Sports Broadcasting Network, July, 2 tournaments in Sin City. We'll give you more information about that later on. Shot comes in, Mickelson gets a piece of it, and Connecticut knocks it down. Set down by number 8, Liam Osborne. Everest has beyond the net. Puck along the far boards now, squirts back out to the red line in the middle of face-off circle right at center ice, and it's sent in by Connecticut, who looks for a line. Everest can't escape the zone. Goes to the near corner. 12, Chase King. Slap shot by him, deflected off the left skate of number 15, Leo Arone for Everest, and it goes out of play. 6:55 now. We're a little more than halfway home. Everest leading the Connecticut Junior Rangers to here on the World Sports Broadcast Network. We're joining us here from Montreal, Quebec. Sportsplex Pierre Fawn. Day 3 of the clash. How many games do we have scheduled? 80 in this tournament. Right now we're playing game number 40. So we are absolutely halfway through this tournament, and it has been fantastic. As I was saying before, we've got more action coming your way on the World Sports Broadcasting Network. After this tournament's done this week, we will have 2 tournaments from Sin City, Las Vegas, Nevada, starting in July 2nd to the 5th, Desert Cup, and 7th to the 10th, Kings of Vegas. Shot, score! Everest coming in on a 2-on-1, and they're able to beat Rory Mickelson down low, and Everest going up 3-1. by a deuce. 3-1. Everest with 3 unanswered goals now. They lead 3-1. Everest, first 15 seconds of the game. They held firm with Connecticut all through the first period. They get a power play goal, 1-1 right before the end of the first set. And then 2 goals now here in the second. They've opened up a 3-1 lead. Here's George Zhang coming in, right on the post, backhand shot. It's underneath, trying to put it home. Goes behind the net, now a wraparound attempt. Good defense by Connecticut and the goalie, Rory Mickelson. Back to the far boards. Everest forward, faking the slap shot now, low slide. Knocked loose to the far corner. Everest picks it up. Goes wide behind the Connecticut net. 5:20 to go, second period. Whistle, stoppage in play. 5:10 remaining. We're going to have a penalty. Number 13, Caden Maxwell going in the box for hooking. And so Connecticut to a much-needed power play. A golden opportunity now for Connecticut to get back into this one and get the proximate goal to make it 3-2. Power play for the Rangers against Everest. Again, my apologies. The feed is down from News Stats, which you get the information, the official scores for all the Clash. Must be a technical issue. That's why I'm not able to provide any of the names of the goals. My apologies there. If we didn't get it updated in this afternoon, I will let you know. His shot comes in, covered. Now back to Ranger defenseman at the point. On the far side, puck goes through the crease to the near boards. Rangers move it on the back end. Tipped home! Oh, the pass came from the defenseman who pitched in to the near face-off circle and found a forward right hanging on the left post. He's able to slide and pass Kingston McIntyre, and the Rangers do get the proximate goal. They cut the Everest lead to 3-2. Big goal for Connecticut. They want to try and win this game and go to 4-1. As I said, both teams right now 3-1 on the outside of the top 4 spots looking in. They have a game in hand that played yet today. But whoever wins will stay pace, and whoever loses will fall back to the middle of the pack and could be looking at some hard work to try and get back into the mix. Right now, it's Everest leading 3-2, but Connecticut grabbing momentum there on that power play goal. Former Ranger announcer Sam Rosen, it's a power play goal for the Rangers. Everest coming in, shot on goal, save Mickelson. And he'll cover with 3:45 remaining in period number 2. Coming up next for you right here on rink number 3, Manitoba All-Stars, who are 4-1. They'll take on Team Finland, who they're 1-4 in this tournament, but they're a much better team than 1-4 indicates. Very, very close losses for Finland so far in this tournament. So I looked today, I was shocked. Wait, they're 1-4? No, that can't be. Because the way they've played is not indicative. That's how tough this tournament is. Team Finland has played much better than what you usually see of a 1-4 team. So, just tough competition all around. Connecticut inside their own zone. 3:33 to go. Pressure by Everest. Puck comes back behind Mickelson's cage. Rangers looking to play it out. Wayne racing in. He's got two defenders around him. It rolls in to McIntyre, and he'll just cover it. Does the smart thing, and just draws the face-off. 3:06 to go, second period. Everest leading 3-2 over the Connecticut Junior Rangers. Now in the far corner in the Everest zone, and Everest able to clear it. Rangers pick it back up. It's number 70, Koi Miyagawa, sending it in. On the far boards. Sent over to the near side of the ice. And there is number 8, Liam Osborne with it. Pass across. Osborne gets it back. Pass up. It's number 15, Leo Rode. Rode racing in behind the Connecticut net. Knocked down to 2:10 remaining, second period. Backhander goes through the high slot. Osborne along the near boards. Into the near corner now. Scrum for the puck. Freeze telling him to play it. Keep that puck moving. Back to Osborne, who's just dumping into the far corner. 100 ticks to go in period number 2. 3-2. Everest the lead. Everest coming in. The shot. Save. Mickelson a rebound. Loose in front and covered by Mickelson. Big save off the rebound there, keeping this a 3-2 game. Now the face-off will be deep inside the Connecticut end. Both Everest Elite and the Connecticut Junior Rangers sitting at 3-1 coming into play today. The winner will move to 4-1, still in the mix for one of the top 4 spots with a day and a half remaining of preliminary play. Meanwhile, you've got a team who does not win. They will drop to 3-2. And you're looking at a uphill climb trying to get back into the mix. Not impossible, but odds not with them, let's put it that way. So that's why this is such a huge game. Here's Connecticut with it. There is Osborne. Pass trying to go up to number 26, Ben Patone. 55, James Strong with it. Intercepted by Connecticut. Inside the Everest zone. Toe drag. Lost the puck on the back end. Connecticut able to play it back out into the Everest zone. Everest clears it. Miyagawa sends it in. That player taken down. And the trail referee calls it. We have a delayed penalty call, and as Everest touches up, we're going to have Connecticut going to the power play. I believe that was Osborne going to the box for Everest. So, power play for the Connecticut Junior Rangers, just what the doctor ordered for Connecticut. Down 3-2. It'll be an abbreviated power play between the second and third periods if they don't score here in the second. Face off to the left of McIntyre. One comes back to the far boards. Whistle. Option play. Oh, I think Connecticut's going to get called for a penalty here. Wow, that's going to negate the power play. A huge penalty against Connecticut. 5 seconds into the man advantage. And now we'll skate 4-on-4, so. Wow, what was a golden opportunity for Connecticut to get this game tied has now turned into a 4-on-4 opportunity, and Everest can take a bit of a sigh of relief. Now the referee going to the coach, whatever. 29.4 seconds to go in the second period. Here's the face-off. Connecticut now racing after it. Left wing trying to get around the Everest defense. It's behind the Everest net. Comes back the other way to the point. Down low in front. Puck triples through the crease. Goes to the far corner. 8 seconds to go. Connecticut maybe one more chance here in the second period. Shot comes in. Save! McIntyre down low. He covers the 5-hole. And we got maybe a second to go on the clock as the screen shows 1 second. We'll face off deep inside the Everest zone. Face off. And do we have a penalty right off the bat there? Right off the face off? Referee raised his arm after he dropped the puck, so let's see if they send anybody to the box. Well, there's a referee coming over. Let's see if we get a view of. Yeah, wow, Leo Rodi going into the box for Everest right at the end of the second period. So when we come back to third period action, Connecticut will be on a power play. It's 3-2 Everest after 2 periods. We'll be back after this on the World Sports Broadcasting Network. Welcome back to the Sportsplex Pierre Fond, rink number 3, just outside of Montreal, Quebec, for continuing coverage of The Clash. Mike Fontano along with you on the World Sports Broadcasting Network. We head to third period action with Everest leading the Connecticut Junior Rangers 3-2. Connecticut on a power play there as Leo Arodi took a penalty right at the end of the second period. So we have a situation where I think it's going to be 4-on-3 because you had a penalty against Everest, and then 5 seconds later, Connecticut took one, and now Arodi going into the box. So it's almost like an overtime when you have like 3-on-3 or 4-on-3. Well, that's what it's going to be. It's going to be a 4-on-3. Everest going left to right in their white jerseys, blue pants. Connecticut in the red, white, and blue. Their blue jerseys with white numbers and red pants. They're going right to left. Underway here for the third period in Connecticut on an abbreviated power play. Around the Everest net. Now back to the point. 12 with the stop. And goes wide. That's Chase King. Tied up in the near corner. Back to the point. Held in. Tarantino shot in. Stick aside by McIntyre. And goes into the netting above the glass and out of play. 14-13 remaining in period number 3. It is 3-2. Everest lead over the Connecticut Junior Rangers. Both teams 3-1. The winner will have their 4th win of the day of the tournament and still in the mix for a top or spot. Going on across the hallway. That right now. Shot on goal. Covered. Loose in front. And it escapes the zone and Connecticut back to play. We'll say, rink number 1, Boston Hockey Club, Quebec Hockey Club. And if you're interested in that, we'll have coverage on that right now on our other feed on the World Sports Broadcasting Network. shot from the point, or the high slot, goes wide, it's in the near corner, Everest picks it up, slams it off the boards and all the way down the ice, and Mickelson out of his net playing. 13:35 to go in regulation time. Everest leading 3-2 with Connecticut Junior Rangers. Rangers on a power play. First penalties are over for both Connecticut and Everest. Now, 23 seconds to go on the penalty to Leo Roney. Lev Pelyakov can't hold it. And Everest able to send it in. Mickelson gets a stick down, blocks that. Time winding down on the penalty. Yang inside the zone. Pass in front. McIntyre gets a stick down to cover, and Everest able to pick it up behind their own net. Penalties are over, and we got another whistle. See if another penalty comes out of this. 12:50 to go in period number 3. It is 3-2. Everest leading over the Connecticut Junior Rangers. Mike Fortisano along with you on the World Sports Broadcasting Network. Thank you so much for joining us. We are halfway through the clash. 40 games in after this one. And the Boston Quebec team will have 40 more to go. Looking to crown a champion here at the Continental Clash for Nations Tournament. Now, okay, that was the injury timeout. The Everest player being helped to the bench. We hope he's okay. I saw the player go down. I didn't know he was injured, so my apologies. We hope that he is better and assisted to the bench. All right, we have a face-off in the Everest zone on the far side. So Connecticut misses out on the power play opportunity there. And the game remains 3-2 Everest. Here's the pass up the ice. Over to number 9. That is Henry Saras. Shot goes through the crease. Connecticut picks it up. Now across the blue line. He was close to being offside. Connecticut in the zone, a shot. McIntyre makes the save. Gets down and covers it. And no further play. 12:19 to go, third period. Everest clinging to a 3-2 lead over the Connecticut Junior Rangers. Later on today at 2 p.m., the Manitoba All-Stars will take on Team Finland right here in Ring 3. And across the hall, it'll be Atlantic Apex against Styhouse. Those will be the start of the 6th games for all these teams. They've all played 5 now at the conclusion of these games. Puck goes back to the high slot shot. McIntyre covers it. It goes free. It's loose at the right post. And a goal! Connecticut has tied the game. A huge goal by the Rangers as they're able to force the rebound home underneath the pads of Kingston McIntyre. We're deadlocked, 3 apiece. What a big goal by the Connecticut Junior Rangers. They have evened this game 3-3. Now both teams have come back to tie the score. It was Connecticut leading 1-0. Everest scored to make it 1-1. They opened a 3-1 lead, but a good comeback now by Connecticut, scoring twice in the second and third periods to make it 3-3. There's number 87, Jordy Price, pass out. Goes to the far boards. And then turns it back around. Over the red line. Into the wing. Can't get past across. Squirts back outside into neutral ice. Rangers have possession in their own zone, circling around with it. Good forechecking by Everest. swept in to the Everest end of the ice. Pass over to the number 87 of Jordan Price. Intercepted by Connecticut now along the boards. Price gets it back, gets a piece of it. Connecticut to the far end. 10:52 remaining, third period, regulation time. Back to the point, number 5 with it, the shot in. Save Mickelson, and he'll cover. We are getting down to crunch time here. As you can see, the crowd there at the Sportsplex PR Fund on their feet in the lobby area above the goal, and then even on the side here, on the near side of the ice, standing full. And they are all watching the temper. Here's Connecticut. Number 80, Lev Belyakov coming in. The shot, rebound, score! Connecticut puts it home, and the Rangers take a 4-3 lead. 3 unanswered goals by the Connecticut Junior Rangers, and then they have taken a 4-3 lead over Everest Elite. Time of the goal, 10:25 remaining, third period. Connecticut scores and make it 4-3 over Everest. What resolve by the Rangers to get back into this game after being down by a deuce. And now let's see if Everest can respond in time. Pass up. There's number 26, Ben Patone. He sends it in behind the Ranger net. Now number 5 back for Everest. Good forechecking by Connecticut. Winner of this game will move to 4-1, still in the mix for a top 4 spots. They'll have 5 teams with 4 victories. So the loser of this game will fall to 3-2, with a danger of going back too far into the mix as far as trying to grab a top 4 spot for the semifinals and finals of this class. 9:35 remaining in regulation time. 4-3. Connecticut has come all the way back. We got delayed offside, face-off outside the zone. Nope, it's going to be a penalty. Oh, it's going to be a tripping penalty against number 85, Luka Novak for Connecticut. And now here is Everest's opportunity to get this game tied. It's 4-3 Connecticut, but Everest on a huge power play. Timeout? Looks like we have a timeout on the ice. No, just a delayed conference with the head coach for Everest. And that is Dave DiMizio. Head coach of Connecticut is Darryl Jones. Face-off goes to the far boards. So Everest starting up a huge power play right now. Comes right in on net, sends it back to the point. 5 will pass it off. In the high slot, pass to the near side. Jenkins shot on net, goes to the far boards. Good pressure by Connecticut, tying up the puck. Everest plays it out. Now on top of the face-off circle to the far end, the shot goes wide. Connecticut desperately trying to get it outside the zone. Everest holds it. Shot on goal, save Mickelson, rebounds loose, and covered. Big saves by Rory Mickelson for Connecticut. 8:45 remaining in period number 3. Face off to the left of the Ranger netminder. Back to the point, sent to the far end. Now in the slot. Dribbles just past the goalpost. On the near face-off circle. Now back behind the Ranger net. To the far corner. sending it around. Number 5 with it. Wrist shot. Deflected down. Mickelson is able to glove it and freeze it for face-off. 8:15 remaining. Third period. Connecticut Junior Rangers have scored 3 times to come back and take a 4-3 lead on the Everest Elite. And a pass over by Arodi, over to number 5. Off the skating from the Connecticut defenseman. Sent outside the zone, Everest can't hold it. And as they play it back in, it's on an offside. Clock down under 8 minutes remaining in the third period.
Got this, buddy. You got this. Come on.
7:59 to go to be exact. We get the penalty with 28 seconds to go. Everest still has the power play for another half minute. With it. Oh, intercepted right from the shot. And Mickelson gets beat when it goes behind the net. What a good save again by Rory Mickelson. On a point-blank opportunity for Everest. Now Everest inside the zone in the high slot. One last chance to the power play. Mickelson dives to make the save. Great goaltending by Rory Mickelson all throughout this power play and all game long as the Rangers cling to a 4-3 advantage. Face-off, won by Connecticut, desperately trying to get outside the zone, and they do. Here's Everest, picking it right back up, sends back into the zone. Forward turned around by the Connecticut defense. And now the Rangers with it in the far corner in the Everest zone, back behind the net. Looking for a wraparound attempt on the right post. McIntyre able to hold that. Now the puck's loose, picked up by Everest. 6:48 remaining in regulation time. Puck turned over to Connecticut. Now sent back into the Everest zone. Everest over the red line, now over the blue, coming in. 4 defensemen back for Connecticut. Everest behind the net, they lose possession. Connecticut able to clear the zone. Along the near boards. Connecticut defenseman back, racing after. There was number 9, Henry Saras, trying to get to it. Now number 5 with the shot in, gloved down by Mickelson, and he holds it for a face-off. With 6:03 remaining in the third period. Face off to the left of the Ranger netminder. Picked up by Connecticut. They clear the zone. Number 5 with it. Romney, number 15. Connecticut. Player tripped down, and we're going to have a penalty call. That is number 8, Liam Osborne. He's going to go to the sin bin, and Connecticut to a huge power play. Leading by 1, and they can build some insurance as Osborne goes to the box. 5:48 remaining, third period. Rangers 4, Everest 3. So the face-off to the left of McIntyre. Everest wins it, clears the zone. One defensive back from Connecticut, grabs it. Now some reinforcements. Pass up. Connecticut player tripped down again. No call this time. They let the players down. That would have been devastating for Everest. Pass to the high slot. Everest intercepts. Puck right on the blue line. And now, number 15, Arodi. Pass over to Saras. Saras, cross ice. Goes to the far boards. Not able to convert. Here's Connecticut on 2-on-1. Pass to the low slot. Doesn't get there. Good defense by Everest. Now, Mickelson out of his net. Gives it up to the defense. Outside the zone. Everest gets it back. 4:47 to go. Third period. Down to crunch time here in the clash. This third period. Connecticut leading Everest 4-3. Pass up. That is Tarantino. He sends it in. Everest clears the zone. Right back up. Connecticut. Over the blue line. Now over the red. Number 24, Grady Hooks. Hooks coming in and steered aside. Everest intercepts and throws it right back outside the zone. We're down to 4 minutes remaining in regulation time. 4-3, Connecticut leading over Everest. Rangers coming inside the Everest zone in a high slot shot. Locked down by the defense. Goes behind the Everest net. Penalty's over. We're back to five-a-side hockey. Now right along the near boards. Shot goes wide of McIntyre's cage. It's loose in front. McIntyre dives for it, and he's able to cover. Good save by Kingston McIntyre. 3:35 remaining in the third period. 4-3, the Connecticut Junior Rangers leading Everest to lead. The winner will go to 4-1 and be in the match for a top four spot in this last half of preliminaries in the clash. The losing team will drop to 3-2. Be on the outside, pretty much looking in. Some major work to do. Keep an eye on the Everest bench to see if they pull McIntyre for an extra attacker within the next couple of minutes. Here's Everest trying to make sure that doesn't even need to happen. If they get a tying goal, they won't have to pull McIntyre. Back to the point to number 88, Nico Giannetti. Now Connecticut picks it up outside the zone, looking for a breakaway. One defenseman back able to stop it. Less than 3 minutes to go, regulation time. 4-3, Connecticut over Everest. They have it behind the net. Now the pass out center ice, intercepted by Everest. Back to center ice. 2.5 minutes to go now. Connecticut scored 15 seconds into the game to make it 1-0. But then Everest with 3 straight goals to take a 3-1 lead. And Connecticut responding with 3 unanswered goals to make it 4-3. It's been a great game. Number 5 for Everest. Blocked down. Connecticut. Pass up. Back to neutral ice over the red line. And shooting for the empty net as Everest has pulled the goalie. They miss it. Everest defense back, so here we go. If Everest can get one more rush into the Ranger zone. Along the near boards. Net is empty, 6-on-5. Puck along the far boards now. Shot comes in. It's loose. Back behind the net. And here's Connecticut. Tip that spot in the zone. Defense back for Everest, so Connecticut can't attack the open net. Minute 30 remaining in regulation time. Puck across, goes along the near boards. Connecticut going for the open net. Off the post. Oh, Connecticut rings iron with 1:19 to go. And it'll come all the way back down to the Connecticut end of the ice. Shot from the face-off dot in the Connecticut zone goes all the way down, and it rings off the post. And we've got a timeout on the ice. We're going to take a quick break as well. We'll be right back. 4-3, Connecticut leading over Everest with 1:19 to go in the third period. right here on the World Sports Broadcasting Network. Welcome back to the World Sports Broadcasting Network. We are at Sportsplex in the Air Fog, ring number 3. For more final action here, last minute 20 between Everest and Connecticut Junior Rangers. Everest trying to look for the tying goal here. Intercepted by Connecticut, but it goes back to the point. Everest has it now on the far boards. Back behind the net in the corner. Connecticut plays it outside the zone. Here's number 5 for Everest. Less than a minute remaining. Puck goes into the Connecticut zone. Everest picks it up, goes in the corner. Connecticut takes control of it. They send it all the way down the ice, shooting for the open net. Pass, and it goes wide left. Everest behind the net now with it. 35 seconds to go. Everest coming back into the Rangers zone. On the far boards. Now in the corner. Pass behind the Connecticut net. Now in front. Can't get it through. Intercepted by Connecticut. And they clear the zone. One last opportunity for Everest. 10 seconds to go. Connecticut steals it. The Rangers deep inside the Everest zone. Right in front. He scores! With 2 seconds to go. Into the open net. And the Connecticut Junior Rangers are going to win as they lead 5-3. Empty net goal with 1.8 seconds to go. And Connecticut has sealed it. And the Junior Rangers will go to 4-1 in the Continental Clash. Still in the mix for a top 4 spot and a berth into the semifinals this weekend. And the clock runs out. That's the game. The Connecticut Junior Rangers come back from down 3-1 to defeat Everest Elite. Final score, Connecticut 5, Everest 3. You can see the celebrations and Rangers now all piling in on Rory Mickelson, who played a great game in net. Not to be outdone, Kingston McIntyre had a stellar game himself. Just too much pressure by Connecticut to come back and win. 5-3 your final score. So now Everest is going to have to work hard to get back into the mix as they drop to 3-2. But for Connecticut, 4-1. They play later on today, both teams. Connecticut against the Quebec Hockey Club at 6:30 p.m. here on Rink 3. And Everest Elite on Rink 1 also at 6:30 against the Boston Hockey Club. Now we're going to have the Star Spangled Banner played for the Connecticut Junior Rangers as the winning country's national anthem. We'll go ahead and hear that, and then we'll give you an update on what's going on with the upcoming games. Here's the national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner. And there's a celebration from the Connecticut Junior Rangers as they win over Everest Elite 5-3. Coming up next on the World Sports Broadcasting Network, the 2 p.m. games Eastern Time. Stye House against Atlantic APEC on rink number 1. I'll be back with you in about 15 minutes for the game on rink number 3. Team Finland against the Manitoba All-Stars. For my cameraman Lucas and for Glenn back in the shop, this is Mike Forzano saying thanks for joining us. Final score once again from rink number 3 at the Sportsplex Pierre Fond. Connecticut Junior Rangers defeat Everest Elite 5-3. Have a great afternoon. We'll see you in about 15 minutes right here on the World Sports Broadcasting Network.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't do it for the name that's on the back. We just do it for the logo on the front. All that clout chasing, we don't run with that. We just put the whole squad on the hunt. Yeah, we bleed for the shield, never for the self. True